Yeah, first of all, it's an honor for me to be here among all the awesome organizations from the Japanese American community, especially all you brothers and sisters who have been active in the struggle for human rights, for civil rights, not only for the Japanese American community, but for the Muslim community, the black community, and especially the Chicano community. We have a long history of solidarity and unity and fighting together. I live in Boyle Heights. I'm proud to say I live in the Linda Vista Senior Apartments. It took me 2 years to get in there. The reason I bring that up is because it's hard to get affordable, reasonable living for our elder folks. And, and we're suffering in Boyle Heights from a high rate of COVID infections and a high rate of death, especially among the Chicano, Latino community and the black community. And it's outrageous for Pacifica Corporation to attempt to transfer the Japanese American elders from Boyle Heights, who are safe and sure there, to this facility that has a high rate of deaths and COVID infections. What do you think about that? Isn't that not only a tragedy, a violation, a human rights violation? You know, it's awesome. I listened to the talks and the speeches today. I learned a lot. I'm an old guy. I'm 73, right? I'm a senior, proud to be a senior, and I'm proud to still be here and active, protesting in solidarity with the Japanese American community and with our elders that are here and at Sakura Gardens, to say that we want to preserve and keep Sakura Gardens, no evictions, no transfers, no to Pacifica Corporation. But I want to point out, you know, that all the speeches today were awesome. I especially like David. I always learn. You know, I didn't graduate from college, right? But I did take Chicano studies. I should have taken more Asian studies, right? So thank you, brother. You know, I learned something every day. The history of struggle, discrimination of the Japanese, the Chinese, and the United States. And it's continuing today. This is an example. Pacifica Corporation. They value profits over human needs. That's right. They're a multinational corporation. They have sites all over the United States. Most of their facilities are market rate. In Boyle Heights, we are facing the gentrification. We are facing evictions, high rents. Our people, poor working people, essential workers, are only dying, facing infections, but we're facing evictions by these multinational corporations that are coming to Boyle Heights, buying apartments, jacking up the rent, evicting our people. So I gotta call it out. This is not about profit. The corporations all care about profit. I traveled all over the world. I'm a young little Chicanito that came from Mexico when I was 5 years old. Came to LA, grew up in Boyle Heights, went to Hollenbeck Middle School, Roosevelt. I had a lot of Japanese American friends, black friends, you know, European friends. We all worked together. We had gymnastics, track. You know, I always admired the Japanese Americans because you were down. You're always like the student government leaders, right? and we loved that, right? A lot of you look like Chicanos, you know. And some of my friends were Chicano. They look Japanese, you know.
Except in camp.
Like that, yeah, I know. Except for the one. And so, you know, we danced together. We did sports together. We grew up together, right? And then later on, when I became conscious as a Chicano activist, the Japanese American community, especially in the Little Tokyo area, always supported our struggle. Whether it was the walkout, the anti-war movement, whenever we got arrested for protesting, the Japanese American community was always there in the picket line in court, in front of the police station, saying, "Don't jail Chicano activists. You know, and don't kill young Chicano men." That's still going on today out of Hollenbeck Police Station. Remember Jesse Romero, Eder Medina. You guys should have called Eder Medina out and got rid of him because he killed 2 young men. You know about Eder Medina. He's out. I'm kind of getting off a little bit, but let me get back on it. So yes, the Japanese American community has also faced gentrification out of Little Tokyo. We picketed, demonstrated to support the Little Tokyo Japanese American community against displacements, against gentrification by the LAPD, the City Hall, Parker Center moving into Little Tokyo. We know all that history, right? So it's awesome that the Japanese American community has always stood with all immigrants, but especially Chicano, Mexicano immigrants, where we face deportations, the jails, the young men and women that are in the detention camps. The Japanese American community has always been there with us. That's why I'm staying here today with Centro CSO. And yes, I can say I represent the Chicano community. I'm 73 years old. I've been at it all my life, 55 years going on. So I want to call out Pacifica Corporation. I've traveled all over the world, you know, Mexico, of course, but I've been to Cuba, I've been to Colombia, and I will point out that in Havana, Cuba, there's a big Chinese community. And I visited Chinese Community Senior Center where they had Chinese food, they had Chinese language, they had medical care, they took care of their Asian Chinese Cubanos, right? Why can't we do this here? Because in Cuba, it's socialism. They care more about the human needs of the community. Here in the United States, they care more about profit. So I denounce Pacifica Corporation, demand that do not transfer, that they do not evict our elders from Sakura Gardens. In solidarity, so we got to say no evictions, no transfers, value human needs over profit. Thank you very much. I know I forgot, but hey, I want to thank David and all the other brothers and sisters for, teaching me another lesson in history. Muchas gracias. All right, bro.